Hey guys, just wanted to do a maybe fun little rant. So here goes. So, me, being a self proclaimed fungi enthusiast, which means I like mushrooms, I like studying about them, I stumbled across a vlog where this person talked about how they had autism. And that apparently had something to do with why they loved mushrooms so much. And immediately, I just cringed in my chair and I thought, oh no, another victim of how toxic our modern society is. So in the video, they went on about how they were diagnosed autism and not because of social awkwardness or hyperactivity, but get this, their psychiatrist diagnosed them with autism because they tried to attempt suicide. They got diagnosed autism because they attempted suicide. And so later in the video, they talk about so-called fixations, quote unquote, and how their autism is really cool because that allowed them to have quote unquote fixations on such things. But I'm thinking, what if fixations is just something you're passionate about? Like, are people really this dumb? Because the term fixation in the context of autism happens to be derogatory. Like, it's not a good thing to have any strong interest in anything. So this tells me that Nikola Tesla, who has changed the electronics game forever and improved the lives of many by inventing the alternating current, was autistic because he had a fixation on electrical engineering. That wasn't like his passion or anything, that's just a fixation. And what's even more crazy is people on the internet are actually debating whether or not Tesla was autistic. This is a real debate, and they're still debating it. But he wasn't even around during the era of quote unquote autism and other such mental diagnostics. Autism wasn't even a term that existed during his time. Now, the person in the mushroom video wasn't particularly socially awkward or anything. Sure, he was a little eccentric, but he didn't seem to have problems being articulate in front of the camera. And many people can't even speak in front of a camera because they have stage fright or aren't able to speak properly under pressure. And I really think our approach to seeing people as autistic is actually disrespectful to who and what they actually are and harmful to their being. Let me tell you about this kind of social stigma in my own experience. So I was hanging out with a friend of mine and his girlfriend, and somehow the girlfriend's brother came into the conversation. Then she was like, yeah, my brother's weird. He has a fixation on tornadoes. Is it not like weird? Oh my god, haha. And then my friend's like, what, tornadoes? That's random, haha, weird, funny, lol. Now, what if we supported his passion on liking tornadoes? What if everyone supported him without judging him? What if he studied tornadoes for 20 years and somehow creates a blueprint for a machine that can stop tornadoes right in their track? That invention would have saved your frickin' ass, and maybe 20 years ago, people wouldn't have made fun of this guy for liking tornadoes. Same goes for Autistic Mushroom Guy. People have no idea what mushrooms are. They just think it's this strange phallic looking plant that grows from the dirt and annoys people tending to their gardens. It's not just a thing that looks like a dick. It's not a thing that makes you hallucinate and see crazy things. There are thousands of different mushroom species, some which are medicinal and have miraculous healing properties. But it's really a disservice that not many people know about these other species of fungi. But no, this guy is an introvert. He's weird because he likes tornadoes and he's not going to get a girlfriend. I feel like people fail to understand quote unquote introverts because they fail to read their facial expressions, they fail to read their movements, their presence, their energy, and not energy in a sense of a magical, mystical, clairvoyant type nonsense, but You know when there's like a person that people dislike and they walk into a room and suddenly the mood goes from 100 to 0? I'm talking about that kind of energy. Which gets me thinking about one of my best friends in high school. I too used to be very introverted. I was a really confused teenager and I had trouble expressing my thoughts and feelings. But my friend was very good at communicating with me because he saw that I played bass guitar and that I possessed talent. He wanted me to join his band. So he tried his very best to communicate with me, even though I wasn't very talkative or receptive. He was so good at reading how I felt, what I wanted, and always asked questions just to clarify things. Later down the road, we played live shows and even got paid on some occasions. This is the kind of social skill that quote unquote extroverted people lack, is knowing how to interact with introverts. But no, socially awkward people are just automatically assumed that they're weird, perhaps autistic, and maybe they'll never get married. This kind of thing can really destroy a person's self esteem, destroy their innocence, and as a result, these people become depressed and their whole lives are ruined for a very long time or maybe for the rest of their lives. It's such a sad thing. And the other thing about getting a girlfriend and getting into a relationship and getting married, like that's fine if that's one of your life's goals, but it's nothing special. Like think about it. A monkey can find a girlfriend and get a mate. But can a monkey invent something that'll change someone's lives? Nikola Tesla was never interested in women or getting married. He was too focused on his passions, which consequently changed our technology forever. But people want to put emphasis on such stupid things like getting into a relationship and doing lewd acts with as many partners as possible. I can't even wrap my head around this nonsense. And some of these people are real perverts. Like they think chasing women and being with multiple females is a noteworthy accomplishment. They're perverts. They're hentai. And if you didn't know, the Japanese character hen in hentai, means weird. So these people are they're the real weirdos. These perverts are weird. They're hentai. Getting into a relationship and getting married isn't the only way to live, but it's such a thing that is hammered into people's minds. Like, I mean, it's cool if you want that, but it's not really the only way to live. Tesla lived to the average life expectancy, which was 86. He was still alive, even though he didn't care about relationships. It's like, really? How freaking boring it is to live that way. What about the few people who came together and built a rocket ship and flew all the way to the moon? Getting girls compared to that is like taking a dump. And I'm not saying you have to do something great. I'm just tired of the stigma around people obsessing over things, calling them nerds, calling them geeks, even as far as to diagnosing them as autistic. A perhaps lifelong debilitating mental illness. It's just so messed up, our society today. Let's take a look at Japan. They're known for their rich, deep culture and amazing accomplishments. There's even a culture around toilets. Toilet. People there have made the bathroom experience a culture. It's a literal culture, and they're always thinking of new ideas to improve your bathroom experience. I mean, who wouldn't want that? But to your average American football jock, that's weird and gross. Ugh, I don't want anything to do with toilets. And I'm not just talking about jocks or other people of this kind of nature. I see people on the other end of the spectrum too. People on the internet who are also socially awkward, self-proclaimed autist, but they also are perpetuating the same exact dynamic that they oppose. People who think Beta and Chad and Wojak Virgin Doomer is a real thing. These concepts are just characters that they created from their own experience. And by experience, I mean poorly maneuvering through social situations then coming to a conclusion that this is what they think life is all about. And as a result, Chad was created to reflect their deep insecurities and digging a deeper hole for everyone else who believes in the Lord and Savior Chad. It's really such a dangerous train of thought. There's no critical thinking involved at all. Maybe if you didn't put females on a pedestal and actually try to act like a normal human being, then maybe Chad wouldn't exist. Maybe the so called millennial doomer wouldn't exist. But these things are only reinforced through their internet echo chambers, i.e., communities within Reddit and 4chan. But yeah, I'm done talking about this. I hope this video gave you some food for thought. Peace out and use your common sense.